Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. I hope that you're doing well. I am getting over a little bit of a cold. Um, I say getting over very optimistically. Um, so I'm not feeling the greatest. And I missed yesterday for doing tarot, but I want to get in the habit of doing this at least once a week. So I'm making up for it today on my Tarot Wednesday. I've been really hard on myself a lot lately, and I am trying to love myself a little bit more. Talk to myself like I talk to my best friend or to any person that I love. Excuse me, because I've noticed that when things are not going how I plan for them to go, or when I feel like things are out of my control, I start I don't know, I start talking really negative to myself. I become a very big critical person of myself. And I become my own worst enemy. And so I am trying to harness my self-love and inner love and talk to myself like I would want someone, like a friend or someone, to talk to me, to just like, get me out of my feelings and to help me recenter, help my okay. Okay. Let's get to the tarot part because yeah, like not feeling the greatest. Oh, the card came. Ah, the devil. It just brought out at me. Interesting. But it also came with this. What is this? Six of Earth. So yeah, I was just usually I pull a card, but like this one spot out, so I think maybe I should read these two. So it was the devil, and then behind it was the Six of Earth. And so yeah, let's just go ahead and read those and see what they are. The devil kind of scared me, but I think that may be the way that I was talking to myself coming up. And so the keywords are mischief, liberation, destructiveness, and gaslighting. It says, when met with self-awareness, the devil's fire becomes a way we burn away our social conditioning, our obedient selves. The world includes so many pains that need the healing of fire, the vengeful spirit, the broken heart, the troubling impulse, the wounded nature, the loneliness, the imposter syndrome, the paranoia. Some seeds are only released by fire. OMG. This is a word. I didn't get it in reverse, but I'm just interested to hear what it says. So it says in reverse, you may be in denial of the fire in you, the wildfire impulse that is working to destroy your body, mind, connection, or spirit. The devil has us in its grip when we are more committed to distraction and numbing our emotions and letting ourselves walk the coals and notice what needs to burn away. What needs to burn. So, as I was just saying, like my self-hatred needs to burn. The way that I've been talking bad and negative to myself, like that really needs to burn. Loneliness is sticking to me. I had a whole session in therapy just about like how as a single mom, I just I feel so lonely sometimes, and it's like I've been in the past I've been used to like filling that void with just like people, and I'm trying to like get out of that habit and just like really sit in the loneliness, both intentionally and unintentionally. And when I say intentionally, I mean like I really just need to sit with that uncomfortability of me feeling lonely, and really sitting with like what that means and what it feels like, and what are like healthy ways for me to cope and strategize with the loneliness that I feel. And yeah, so I feel like, yeah, that shit needs to burn. Also like troubling impulse. You know what? I'm not gonna get into the nitty gritty of it, but like a lot of these things are like making sense. So I'm glad that that card kind of spilled out at me because, yeah, a lot of this needs to burn, and I just need to figure out what's the best way to release it, right? Like it needs that fire. Um, okay, and so, that's funny. And like it needs that fire, and I guess the flower, the plant, like the healing component of it is water. Water soothe and cool, calm and cleans after the fire. Collect as rain or from ponds, rivers, the seashore. Charge in sun or moonlight. Used to soak ceremonially herbs. Add charged infused water to baths and showers or splash your face, anoint yourself. Used for cleaning the home. Okay, so I burn it and then I rejuvenate it with some fire, with some water. I burn it with fire, rejuvenate with water. Got it. And the poem for this, or sorry, the quote. It's National Poetry Month, y'all. So it's like poems are on my mind. But nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of the people who were oppressing them. Revolution is about change, and the first place the change begins is in yourself. Assata Shakur. Ashe. Rest in peace. Rest in power, Assata. I love this. I needed to hear this. Okay. Usually I think of like the devil as like something bad and like negative and like mischievous and like just like I'm like learning that, what's bad can also be good, like what's poison can be medicine. And that is like really the intersection of crosswords, roads, where things have double use, double purposes. What can be bad can also be harnessed for good. And so, yeah, I'm going to think intentionally about the best ways to ignite a fire around the things that I need to burn from my life, and then rejuvenate myself with water and just like, cleanse my spirit, because that definitely needs to happen. And then the next card we got was the Six of Earth upright. This is my first time, I think, pulling both of these cards. Let me write this down. What's today? I'm interested in how these two cards, what is this? The Six of Earth. Yeah, I'm really interested in like, how these two cards pair together. Okay, so the Six of Earth, it looks really cool and like Afrofuturistic. I can't even speak right now. Afrofuturistic. Just like looking at like the different symbols and signs and faces. And I just see like a grandma or like an elder right here giving like flowers to like the present and like, and also like what's to come. And like the flowers, it's so beautiful. I really love this. Y'all, I'm gonna get one of these tatted on me because these drawings are just amazing. But Six of Earth, keywords: negotiation, skill, employment, teamwork. We can all become just right for the task at hand. We have or can develop the skills we need to pull it off. People around us can support us as we negotiate the future. What can you give? What do you need to take? Where can you negotiate among the various needs and resources available? Oh my goodness. In reverse, you may be denying your own capacity, avoiding the moment of necessary negotiation because you don't trust yourself in the work. I've been feeling that too. Wow. How will you do this important work? And then the flower or the plant associated with this is the rosemary. Rosemary is long memory, remembers who you are, empowerment, wisdom, responsibility. Used to season food or make infused oil. Rosemary can be brewed as tea. It's good for hair. It's good for a hair rinse. Can be infused in apple cider vinegar or witch hazel as a facial toner. Oh, I'm gonna try that. I've been using apple cider vinegar a lot lately, just like drinking it and putting it in my foods and stuff. But yeah, I've never thought about using it as a facial toner. Interesting. And then the quote for this card says, "You didn't see me on television. You didn't see news stories about me. The kind of role that I tried to play was to pick up pieces or put together pieces out of which I hope organizations might come. My theory is strong people don't need strong leaders. Ella Baker." Ah! Yo, I love funny thing is, okay, so I always grapple with this quote. When I was in college, right, my first year as a resident on the Black Scholar Hall, my RA, shout out to Yoel, he had like quotes on like everybody's door. And my quote was this quote: strong people don't need strong leaders, Ella Baker. And honestly, like that has been such a pivotal moment in my life. Like ever since I read that quote, it kind of like inspired me of like, okay, like who have I been looking to as like these like charismatic leaders, and like what are things about them that like don't necessarily sit right with me? Like what type of leader do I want to be? And then like also realizing that like, you know, I don't like to be at the forefront of things, so like that's not my leadership style. Like I'm more of a person that like leads from behind, like let's like circular rotation, like let's take turns being the leader. And this is the first time I'm like seeing this, oh my goodness, this quote in here. This is my first time pulling the card. And it's like I'm at such a point in my life right now where it's like shit has hit the fan, right? I feel like I'm spiraling in so many different directions. I don't feel grounded. I'm feeling like there's things that I need to let go of, while also things that I need to build. And it's hard to simultaneously let go and build at the same time. Like, I just don't feel like I'm aligned enough to do the task that is being called from me, you know, whether in my personal life, in my job life, like with my kids, being a mom, you know, like just in all aspects of my life, I don't feel any alignment. And so what I'm getting from these two cards is that like some things I need to let go of, right? And at the same time, when I'm thinking of, you know, just the process, right? The letting go, the rebuilding, is that I have ample resources, ample opportunities, ample people. I have a lot of things like within my discretion that like would be so helpful if I just like reached out, if I just like put out a hand and said, hey, put out the call, like I'm needing, you know, help with X, Y, and Z, you know, like help a sister out. And it's like I have been, you know, like, because I was talking earlier about like my loneliness, like I don't reach out to people, and I think that's part of the part that keeps me lonely, right? It's like I have a whole bunch of friends, sorority sisters, like co-workers, like I have a vast amount of people within my network that I've been distant from. And I feel like the what's on me is like the shame and the grief and the guilt that I built a barrier, right, between like me and the people that like I've built connections with. Like ever since I became, you know, a mom, and then like dealing with abuse, and like, you know, dealing with being a single mom, trying to like navigate like so many different things at one time. It's just like I feel like, oh, I have to do it alone. Like I have to struggle through this. Like I have to have like this steadfast like focus, and it's just like I have to block out the noise, right? And me blocking out the noise is like me blocking out like my connections and my network, because I don't want to burden them with all of the things that I've been like facing and dealing with. And like I've always been that type of like person that just like struggles in silence, right? And so maybe that's the part of myself that I need to burn. Like maybe that's like that thinking that I have, that pattern is also something that I need to burn in order to stop feeling that void of like to feel that void of loneliness, because loneliness is just like a concept that I'm making up in my head that like there's nobody for me. And I've been looking at it as in terms of like relationships, but like intimate relationships, right? Like romantic relationships. But like I'm thinking now that like a lot of these relationships, the platonic relationships that I have that are like friendships and networking connections and, you know, like career, okay, I think I got it. I don't know how to articulate it, but like in my mind it makes sense. Why I would get these two cards as paired. Because you're literally looking at like the fire, and then like, you know, we're looking at the earth on this one, but like red and blue, right? We're looking at the heat, and I'm thinking like the water, right? And we got like the bit of green and like the grounding and what we're building. And so, yeah, so I need to figure out how I'm gonna do it, but it makes sense that these two are paired together. And I think it's really calling on me to like isolate myself from loneliness, because like that's the devil's mischievousness of like me recreating like depression, anxiety, and stuff like within my world, because I have not been leaning into like my resources, tapping into like my networks, tapping into like the skills that I have, outreaching to people, to really like fill that void. So yeah, that is where we are today. I'm so glad that I did this because I was not going to do it this week. And now it's just like my whole week has shifted. Ella Baker has entered the chat. She's letting me know, girl, you are a leader in your own right. You got this. You don't have to depend on like any and everyone, but also you still have to stay connected to any and everyone, for it to all, come into alignment. So, that's crazy because I was just feeling so sick, and now I'm feeling just like a little bit better. Okay. Well, I hope that this is able to lead me through the week and that I'm able to feel a lot better, both mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. That is the goal. Thank you all for being with me and tuning in. Ashe.